just had to think about what day it was. This is episode 2. Welcome to my podcast. My name is Nadine. You can find me at Ravelry and Instagram as Corazenia. Today is weird. It's just we're living in really weird times. I just finished doing some groceries and doing some baking and cooking for the next week. We are very lucky. We have our cupboards are all stocked. Our fridge is stocked with lots of fresh food. Lots of bread. Enough toilet paper. Maybe not extra, but I trust that the system will have some toilet paper by the end of the week. So, I'd just like to thank everyone who watched my first episode. I had a lot of fun, and in the editing process, I didn't edit a lot, but I mean, just the pure fact that I added text was a feat, an accomplishment. My name's Nadine. Welcome back if you watched the first episode, and welcome if this is your first time here. It's only my second. You can find me on Instagram and on Ravelry as Corazenia. I live in London, Ontario with my husband and our youngest daughter. Our oldest daughter has moved out and is working living independently. She's old enough. Let's see. I have a project, a finished object, a finished sweater, and the cardigan I was knitting the last time is now done. It was almost done, and that is finished and blocked, and I'm very happy with it, so I will share that, and I'll also share a project I'm working on. I've been pretty monogamous with my knitting this month. Literally just knit on one project. It's a big one, and life has just been keeping us busy. Needless to say, it's a bit of an uncertain time, and just worried about the people I love, and just hope we can all remain calm and share and care for each other, share with and care for one another. We're pretty lucky. I did some groceries this morning, and we have everything that we need for a couple of weeks, and we'll make do with what we have. I'm pretty good at being creative, so I'm looking forward to maybe some extra baking, which I've already started, and cooking a great big pot of soup, and just trying to cook ahead. Just gotta check my soup, but I'll be back. I'm back. The soup looked good. I forgot I had also had some muffins in the oven, so trying to use up some of the food that wasn't going to last much longer. So that's what's been keeping me busy today. Staying close to home. That is not something that is out of my comfort zone. I love to be at home. So this is this time is a bit of an introvert's dream, I guess, come true. No problem being at home and keeping myself occupied. So let's see what I've been doing the last couple of weeks besides knitting is trying to develop some healthy habits. Our youngest, my teenager, is 17 and she's expressed some interest at um, maybe getting out and doing like a running program. But I thought to kind of start, we would do some yoga, especially during this time. I think yoga very helps me clears my mind and releases some of that stress and tension from my neck and shoulders and my head, but also my chest and just puts me a little bit better at ease. The stretching is really helping in the breathing. Yeah, so, and she's really enjoying it. She didn't enjoy it at first, as I don't think I really enjoyed yoga when I first started as well. But so if anyone's interested in joining along, we're doing the 30-day challenge with Adriene. I've done it before and it was a lot of fun. You really do get into a rhythm when you're doing it every day. It is only, oh my goodness, maybe 15 to 30 minutes each day, and we like to do ours at night. I know lots of people who also would rather do their yoga in the morning. We seem to have easily fit it into our routine before we go to bed. Yeah. So yeah, we're on, I think, like day 6. So we've just started, so it's not too late to get, well, anyone, you can start anytime. But if you do decide to join along, let me know. We can keep each other accountable. That's what I kind of like about doing it with my daughter, is that I can nudge her a little bit more, and she can, on the days when I don't feel like getting on the mat, she can nudge me. So that has been really lovely. Just trying to also drink more water as I drink my cup of tea. But cutting out a little bit more caffeine. I think anytime I'm thirsty, I go for a cup of tea. And just trying to replace some of those cups of tea with just water. And I think that's actually a good thing to do. It's one of the things you're supposed to do if you're feeling sick, is drink lots of fluids. Or if you have this flu, is to drink a lot of liquids. And so I think we're just going to drink lots of water too. And I think water also makes me feel better. So we've been drinking water, doing the yoga every day. I've been out walking to work all week, and it's been a challenge. We walked all winter every day, and it didn't bother me until I think Tuesday it was raining, and I got to work. I was a little bit wet. I mean, not a little bit, I was a lot wet. And it was cold on top of being wet. So I felt like I stayed cold almost all day, but I did the one nice thing, I'm not complaining, being wet, I dried. It was not a problem. It didn't take long, and no one commented about how wet I was, so maybe I felt more wet than I looked. Yeah, so that's that. We're walking, yoga, water, practicing gratitude, yeah, staying still, checking in on our loved ones, cooking and baking, and knitting and using my hands, and making sure we get lots of sleep. And I think that's checking in on our neighbors and stuff. So I think that's all you can kind of do during these times. And we're monitoring the virus. And so, yeah, just trying to remain healthy and safe. I mean, we're going to be practicing a lot more social distancing. you know, I may, be able to work easily from home. And my oldest daughter is able to work from home, so we can worry a little less about her. And her boyfriend's classes are going to be going online, so they can both hunker down. That's lovely, and gives me a little bit more peace of mind. My youngest is at work today, but we're fairly lucky. We've only had one local case so far of COVID-19, and they're already have cleared up and tested, got through it. So not to say that everyone will get through it that easily, but brings me hope. So let's see. You know what? Let's dig into what I've got finished. So let me just move this out of the way. Here it is. The cardigan is done. I should put it on. I should insert maybe a picture, maybe right here of it on me. I've worn it to work already. It's lovely. It's so drapey and it fits perfect. It's a little bit shorter. Like, had I known that I was going to have some yarn left, I think I would have maybe just added maybe another inch, but as it is, I think it's going to be perfect for around on like over dresses and with skirts and stuff. Yeah, I kind of like it. I was gonna say I could try putting it on. I should have thought about this. I don't know what this is gonna look like. There you go. It's actually kind of really like the color a lot more. Let me see. Yeah, it's kind of cropped. It's perfect. Yeah, it's not super, super long, but that's how I wanted it. Let's see if you can. There, see? Yeah, so it fits really lovely. It blocked out great. Yeah, I really like the cable. It's fairly easy. Look, yeah, I don't know if I can. You can kind of see the back. There's a cable down the back. I hope that's good. But anyway, yeah, so I'm really happy with it. I guess I can leave it on. Anyway, so yeah, that's the Minetta cardigan by Christian Kapoor. It's a free pattern through Ravelry. Well, you can find it on Ravelry, but it was Knitty through the Knitty website. So very happy with it, and yeah, very little seaming because it was all done top down. And it is longer in the back. Instead of using short rows, you cast on the back and add more stitches later on in the front. So yeah, yeah, I'd highly recommend. Oh, there's a bunny, a little bunny on my deck. Not a little, he's pretty. He's a chubby bunny. Anyway, it's gone. Then let's see. So then, as soon as that was done, I was really excited to start knitting on a blanket for my youngest. I've knit a sweater for my oldest when she left, and seeing as the youngest, this is her maybe second last year of high school, so I'm getting a little bit of an early start. I'm using, it's called Tent Sail. It's a very, very cheap acrylic that's actually made here in Ontario. It's made in Listowel, which is an hour and a half away from London, just north east. And which reminds me, I do have to go back and I have to go there. I wasn't there to get this. I did not buy that here, but the store that I bought it here has closed. And so I know I've checked with the Listowel, the factory, and they do have some more. So I will have to make a little road trip one weekend to go get some more. It was very cheap. I want to say, like, this is a big ball. It's 7 ounces, it's 200 grams, and has about almost 400 meters of it's worsted. So it's just, I really got it because of, I'm using the acrylic because they're blankets and they're going to be washed, and I have no control over them once they leave the house. And it's really hard to hand wash, and I don't blame anyone who wouldn't want to hand wash a blanket. So these will be able to be thrown into the washer. And yeah. So easy to care for. Plus, it's a big project, so it keeps the costs down. But I really loved this color. It's I don't know if you can, there, that's a good color. It's taupe. So I also think that color, it goes with everything. I want to say it literally goes with white and brown and grays and any color. So I just love it for it's very neutral, very natural, kind of gray beige. Anyway, like I want everything in this color now. Anyway, let's get to the pattern. Oh my god, I just realized that I was in the middle of a row. That's okay. So I'm doing it on 4.5 millimeter needles, and the pattern is called Dean's Blanket, and it's a puff stitch. I've never done this before. So it's basically, I've got 187 stitches on here, and the sides are done in a seed stitch. So just knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one, knit one. And because of the amount of stitches, it never changes from the front and back. So that has been easy to remember. And obviously, and then the bottom is also a seed stitch. But the puff stitch, if you've never done it before, is knitting on the front. It's a six rows, knit on the front, purl on the back. So easy to remember. Oh, there's my soup. So 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Muffins needed to be taken out of the oven. No, I lied. The soup. It's been a hot minute. Okay, so like I said, it's the puff stitch is 6 rows, knit on the front, purl on the back, and then on the 6th row, where you're on the front, where you're doing the knit across, it's a knit 3, and then a knit 4 stitches below, or 5, like the 5th row, go 5 rows or 4 rows down and knit into the 5th row below, which makes that pucker, and then you just keep knitting. So you actually just have to drop your stitch down to the 5th row, knit that one, and keep going. And so knit 3 more, and then drop down. It is lovely. It makes me think of a nice, like a puffy quilt. Yeah, it gets a little bit thicker. It's just beautiful. I'm loving it. So I've got about that much done, I would say. I just started my 3rd ball, and I'm thinking I get about at least a foot if not maybe a little bit more length. It's 187 stitches across, so it'll be a nice blanket for the end of her bed. Keep her warm while she's doing her homework. That's the hope. Anyway, yeah, like it's pretty substantial so far. So it's gotten to almost the point where I can't take it with me. It's not my travel knitting, so I'm gonna have to think about casting on something that I can take around with me, take me to work, throw in my backpack, knit in the car while I'm waiting for someone, that sort of thing, or appointments. So yeah, so that is, it's taken me 3 weeks, I think, to get to that point. So I'm almost at the halfway point. If I don't get any more yarn, I only have 2 more full balls. So if this is my half point, I just don't think that's going to be big enough. I feel like it's like a large baby blanket at that point. I want it bigger. So I will be going to Listowel and picking up some more of that yarn. Here, actually, this is the not very aesthetically pleasing ball band. It's cheap. I don't care what it looks like. So yeah, so that's what I'm working on. So I think it's probably time to throw out a little pair of socks, or maybe I do have some mittens somewhere. They weren't very inspiring to knit, so I just need to find something that I can just grab and go with. So that is what I'm working on and what I've finished. What else have I done over the past month? I went to a really cool community chili cook-off, and that was a lot of fun. Once a year, the neighborhood very close to me has a big chili cook-off in a church basement, and that was a lot of fun and inspired me to, I think I'm going to need it to make my chili and take it. I am surprisingly very competitive. Consider myself a competitor. So yeah, I'd like in on that. And there's no prizes, just knowing you're number one. So, and that's good enough for me. So then let's see what else. I've had some walks in the woods. I went to the loveliest conference just last week. It was a good neighborhood conference. Our city has a strengthening neighborhoods strategy. So London is comprised of 40 neighborhoods, little niche things, and it was fun. My neighborhood doesn't have a neighborhood association, but it's something that I've been really interested in starting, and I have talked to some experts or some people who have done it in the past, and we have lots of tools and lots of resources, and we even have an umbrella organization called the Urban League, and they have lots of expertise, lots of support there. So I'm really seriously considering starting something like that. I know that in the neighborhoods where they have a community association and they have things like this chili cook-off, they have a really, you know your neighbors, you get to know your neighbors a lot better, and you have a better sense of belonging, and that has always been really important to me. As I'm sure lots of other people, I sometimes don't feel like I belong in the room, and I shouldn't say I do now. That's a feeling that I experience now. I've been very intentional about getting out of my bubble and getting to know people and getting to know my community and its issues. And think that's what makes places better to live and grow and play, is getting to know the people around you, learning what's out there to love about your community, what makes it unique. Yeah, and I'm pretty good at that. I've been doing. I am. I volunteer and I support events, and I just get out there and try to be part of the conversation. I, support people and when they have really great ideas, and I think sometimes like people can have really great ideas and then there's no one to support those people, and it's really important for me to do that. I might not have the best ideas, but I can recognize a good idea when I see one or hear one or read about one. So I try to make sure that those things succeed. Yeah. And those things are easy to do. It's going out and going to events. I wasn't really planning on talking about this, but if anyone's interested in learning how to connect in your community and be an active part of your community, I'm happy to talk about that. I could talk about it for hours. I'd say I do a good job about it, but I'm not, I wouldn't call myself a community shaker, but yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. But yes, and I think that's going to be even more important as we move into the next little bit, the next year, is caring about our community. So yeah. Anyway, so I went to this conference. It was really cool. It's gotten me thinking about some of the cool stuff that we can do in our community, or my neighborhood, to be specific. It's really gotten me thinking about the really neat businesses, the neat institutions that are in my neighborhood. We're really lucky to have the river, the Thames River, go through, border the north part of our neighborhood. It's where I walk every day. We clean it, we walk it, I take pictures of it, I picnic there. Every summer they do concerts, like orchestra and bands, and musicians play they've built a little shelter at, it's not the Fork, but yeah, there's a band shell, like an outdoor band shell, and all summer, every Sunday afternoon, they've got a concert, a free concert, where everyone can go, and we pack a picnic blanket and we walk down there, and we just lay there and listen, and sometimes I knit, sometimes my family naps. We just enjoy being outside. There's an ice cream stand that's just also positioned right there. So sometimes we have some ice cream and just watch people go by, watch people dance, listen to the music, and just make memories. And so, yeah, I just thought that that's a really cool part about my neighborhood and where I live. We have lots of parks. It's a little shopping plaza, some little local stores, some local restaurants, a couple schools. We don't have a library super close, but I could walk to one in about half an hour, I think. We have a craft brewery. I mean, it's not right in my neighborhood, but it's just outside my neighborhood, and so that's a fun thing to do if you like craft beer. And we have a dog park, so we get to see lots of dogs. I don't have a dog, but we get our fill just watching them play, and yeah, hang out with their friends. And yeah, we're lucky to be able to walk to our downtown. We are within walking distance. We have great paths. close to museums and markets. Um, yeah, and I like my neighbors. So, yeah, so that was one thing that has been kind of on my mind. Hopefully, something I can maybe gather some of my neighbors around to help me with. I am, maybe I can be a competitor, but I am not a leader. I am the wind beneath someone's wings out there. I don't know whose wings it will be, but I've got some good ideas. I also wanted to share, I don't know how come I've never thought about it, but our family loves campfires. But on those days when we can't have a campfire, we just don't want to go outside at night when it's cold. I mean, I guess there's nothing stopping us from not having a campfire in the middle of the afternoon, but something about being around a campfire in the dark. Anyway, I saw someone post how they did s'mores in the oven, and I thought that was genius. I mean, maybe all of you are doing it, and I've just never thought about it, but as soon as I thought it, I was like, oh my goodness, I need to share this, because maybe it's not just me that didn't know that you can make s'mores in the oven. Yeah, that's a broiling function. It could be just for that. So that is something I would like to do, but I also think today would be a beautiful day for a campfire as well. So who knows? I do have chocolate. Oh my goodness, I don't have cookies. Could I make graham crackers? I could make cookies. It doesn't have to be a graham cracker, right? Or I could just go out and buy graham crackers. I do have to go out and pick up people from work, so I mean people, I mean my partner and our daughter. They're both working on opposite ends of the city, so lucky me. I can get graham crackers while I'm out. So yeah, I wanted to share that. Let's see, what else? Oh, it was International Women's Day. I hope everyone was able to celebrate it in some way. I mean, our city, we had marches, we had a big group threw a great big dance. I thought that looked really fun and looked super cool, but I'm not a dancer and I was worried about not feeling like I belonged. Plus, I like to be in bed by 10, so I stayed at home. I have no problem dancing when no one's around, so I'll do that. I'll catch up. But anyway, yeah, like so many cool things happening in our city around International Women's Day. And last year I went to this really neat event that was organized by a couple women I know, or that I was familiar with. Some of them I know. Did this intergenerational women's potluck and kind of a circle. And so everyone, yeah, so it was just like any woman, girls from any generation, really encouraging lots of people from all over, like in every decade, to just come and share a dinner. And so each of us brought a dish, a dessert, a salad. It was so much fun last year, and I went with my oldest, and she's not here this year. She's in another city, so she couldn't join me. But I still went, and my youngest was busy because I would have loved to have taken her. I think she had a meeting. Yeah. So I went by myself, but I went with another colleague, and I knew lots of people that were going, or lots of women. And it was so nice to be surrounded by strong, smart, very caring women, and just celebrating each other, celebrating ourselves, and um, so half of it was having dinner together, and they had like it was just beautiful. The tables were set up lovely, and there was lots of mingling and connecting with one another. And then after dinner, we all gathered around um, in a large meeting space, and we divided up by generation, by decades. And so, I think it was up to like 24 was one group. It was huge. There were so many students and young girls. And yeah, lots of youth. And then 24 to 35 and a 30, like they were divided, tried it very equally. And then what we did was we gathered up in our generation circle and wrote down questions that we wanted to ask, our deep burning questions for other generations. And then we put those questions out to each other. So then we sat in a big giant circle, still in our generation, sitting with our generation, and just not lobbied questions back and forth, but asked great questions. And just shared our hopes and our dreams, and it just came to a better understanding. Um, yeah, it was so lovely, and just a wonderful opportunity to connect and support each other and know that, well, lots of things have changed, and um, while lots has changed, there are lots of things that remain the same, or things that just there's different struggles, and how we're all in this together. And yeah, they're just great reminders. So yeah, I didn't mean for this to become super sad, but I think it's just, I think just feelings are big right now. And yeah, I think about um, yeah, all those girls, my own girls, and how, we've, yeah, I think, where we've fought some really great battles, and they can be anything, that they want to be. We've, we've left the world really, the earth very crappy. I don't know how to, I want to say that a little bit stronger. But, and we're in different economic times. I don't know how reasonable it may be for my daughters to be able to afford a house. But maybe renting is the new housing. Who knows? I don't know. These are the things that I think keep me up at night. But I know that they don't just keep me up; they also keep my kids up. So yeah, but it was just lovely. I'm so glad I went. It gave me hope, and it was, yeah. I am surrounded by amazing women. That's all. So, yeah, it was neat. They're not my not necessarily my usual circle of women, but my circle has just gotten bigger each time. So yeah, this year was lovely again. So there's that. Um, yeah, and I'm kind of glad I went to all those things because now we're not going to have all these large gatherings, or not in the next little bit anyway. So I'm kind of glad I got some of some of that socializing, um, not out of my system, but I got to take advantage of some really great social events, some great connecting with people. And I think, that's not the only way I connect with people, and that we can connect with each other. I think I'm kind of glad that this is something I've just started because, this is just another way that not having to leave the house, but can still talk to you and hear and engage and have conversations and support each other and inspire each other and learn from each other. So, yeah, and care for one another. So I think there's that. I think I saw something I was reading the other day, like even, encouraging kids to start writing letters again. I don't think my kids have ever, or it's been a really long time since they've written a letter. Yeah, so that's something they could do, or write emails, especially if we don't want them to go out and buy stamps. Yeah, there's that. There are connecting with each other online, and yeah, so that actually brings me back to if you'd like to, please follow me on Instagram. I'm Corzenia there. Subscribe and like. You don't have to like, but you can subscribe it, and you will be alerted when a next episode goes up. Maybe I won't wait a whole month before I share in this space again. So yeah, we can do that. We'll see. And I've been trying to work on like an intro or something. So I've been going around kind of, my family is staring at me strangely, trying to record things. They want to know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm gonna play around with that this month, maybe, or not this month, but maybe during all of this downtime at home, I can work on. Oh, also, I think my daughters might want to actually help me as well. The oldest is a marketing and communications expert, so she already has some ideas. I think she was getting super excited. And my youngest is an artist and very creative, so she can. She watches a lot of YouTube. She could be my in-house expert. Help me with that stuff. So, yeah, I think that's it. I am going to let everyone go. I'm going to try to edit this. I'll think about how I'm going to put this all together. And until next time, I hope that you all stay well, and that you look after each other, and that you can find some peace and breathe deep, and just, yeah, look out for each other, and Um, have fun maybe making. Enjoy knitting on your projects. Um, share what's been keeping you busy, or what's I'd love more ideas on how to just keep my hands and keep my mind busy over the next few months. So please share those. I'd love to hear from you. I think that's it. Until next time, stay well.